Hello everybody, my name is Kurtis from the Epic Marvel Podcast, and I'm here today to talk about modern era epic collections. So what is a Marvel era epic collection? Well, for the past 10 years, Marvel's been cranking out the regular epic collections now, or we can call them classic epic collections, that cover Marvel's history from the 1960s, generally speaking, to the late 90s. What about the stuff after that? Well, Marvel has decided now that they are going to issue a new series of epic collections that collect just the stuff from the 21st century, and this is what they are calling the Modern Era Epic Collection. Because this is dealing with material from the 21st century, you can see that a lot of this stuff has already been collected in trade. In fact, everything that Marvel has put out in the 21st century seems to be collected really well in trade paperback or in omnis or oversized hardcovers, or, it's just widely available. So Marvel's approach for these modern era epic collections seems to be to collect some of the most popular stories and repackage them in a format that will hopefully be able to be reprinted kind of just as they need to for the rest of our lives. And now that all of the launch titles have been released, let's take a look at all of these books and see what has been released so far for the Modern Era Epic Collections, and then we'll talk about what's coming up next. Marvel kicked off the Modern Era Epic Collections with this title here, Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider Volume 1. And this collects Spider-Girl comics from the very first appearance of her in Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, and chronicling her first miniseries as well as the first little bit of her first ongoing series in 2015. It's no surprise that Marvel kicked off the Modern Era Epic Collections with a modern character rather than one of their classic legacy characters, because of her popularity in the two Spider-Verse movies. This material, of course, is available in omnibus and a couple other different formats, but now we have it all in one place, and one of the draws of this collection in particular is that it includes the entire Spider-Woman story, including the chapters from Spider-Woman and Silk. To coincide with the Loki TV series, Marvel released two back-to-back Loki Modern Era Epic Collections. This is Volume 1, Journey into Mystery, and this is Volume 2, Everything Burns. And this collects the Journey into Mystery series by Kieran Gillen from 2011 that actually doubled as Loki's solo title at the time. After the events of Siege, Loki was reborn as a kid. These books do skip over the major Marvel events like Siege and Fear itself, so I would recommend reading those alongside these books so that you get the entire story. Venom has a Modern Era Epic Collection. This one's called Agent Venom, and it collects a lot of the material that was previously found in the Venom by Remender complete collections. This is an interesting period for Venom, as it's not Eddie Brock in the costume, but rather Flash Thompson, who lost his legs in the war and is using the symbiote to literally help him get back on his feet. Partnering with a government-run special ops group, Flash Thompson is using the symbiote to go and help people and try to make the world a better place. Unlike the Remender complete collections, this one actually contains the first appearance of Agent Venom by Dan Slott. It also includes the entire Sign of 4 storyline. One of the biggest titles in the early 2000s was definitely New Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis. And so we have here the very first volume of the New Avengers Modern Era Epic Collection, which covers the same material that you can find in the New Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis complete collections. Many younger fans came to comics because of this comic right here, and so it's great to have a new collection for a new generation to experience. Guardians of the Galaxy Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 1, Somebody's Gotta Do It. This is the Abnett and Lanning title that introduced the movie team of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Of course, it's the team that inspired the movie, not the other way around. This story was part of the big cosmic push that Marvel was doing at the time. However, this collection doesn't include the big stories, so I would include reading Annihilation as well as Annihilation Conquest to get the full story of the new team of Guardians of the Galaxy. Spider-Man Deadpool Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 1, isn't it bromantic? This was supposed to be one of the launch titles alongside Spider-Gwen, but due to some shuffling and maybe some delays or something like that, it got pushed to kind of being after all of these other ones. But it's out now, and this is the first time it's being collected in a nice thick trade. We've just had some thin trades before that. You will notice on the back cover that it does say it collects 1 to 14 and then 17 to 18, but I thought epics don't skip issues. Well, this book had a lot of delays, and so they had a lot of fill-in issues, a lot of them you'll see in here, but then there's also a crossover with the other Deadpool titles at the time, and they just didn't have time for this title to catch up, so they had to insert the crossover right in the middle of an ongoing story arc. And so those two issues are removed from this just to give you a better reading experience, and I fully expect that we're going to see them in Volume 2. So once again, here are the Epic collections that have already come out. Now here's what's on the schedule for the next year. Actually, coming in December, we have Venom Volume 5, which is called The Savage Six. In January, Dark Avengers Volume 1, Osborn's Reign. In February, Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider Volume 2, Weapon of Choice. And Daredevil Volume 2, Underboss. In March, we have Astonishing X-Men Volume 1, Gifted. And Spider-Girl Volume 1, Legacy. In April, Black Widow Volume 3, Chaos. In May, Hulk Volume 6, Who is the Red Hulk? In June, we have 3 Epic collections, Iron Man Volume 3, World's Most Wanted, Captain America Volume 1, The Winter Soldier, and New X-Men Volume 1, E is for Extinction. And in July, we have Hawkeye Volume 1, The Reunion, and Thor Volume 1, Reborn from Ragnarok. So which modern era Epic collections are you looking forward to the most? And which titles do you hope Marvel will release in the future? Leave me a comment and let me know. And I thank you for watching my video. I hope you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.